notice it. Okay. So today's class, we're going to need a block and a pair of socks. And if you don't have a block, perhaps a strap can replace that. So we are starting standing. It's Monday morning, and I'm not going to be playing any music, but please, if you do want music, put it on. It's lots of fun with music, I find. So we're just going to start by doing a little bit of movement. So I'm just swinging my arms from side to side. Noticing my breath. You may want to take some deep breaths in through the mouth or in through the nose and let it out through the mouth. Just coming into the moment, starting to get grounded in your day, setting an intention to have a good one. Smile on your face. So I'm just letting the arms be completely loose and letting them swing to my sides. I'm letting the belly relax. Big breaths in. Move however you feel like moving. I'm getting a little bit more twist now in the thoracic spine. So I'm kind of leaving my feet where they are. You'll notice I'm coming up on a toe and swinging in that direction of the lifted toe. So I'm just letting my arms still just loose. And really, guys, this, you could do whatever you want. I'm just feeling a nice, a little bit of thoracic spine movement here as I swing my arms. Somebody is coming in, I'll get them. Or do I need to anymore? Oh, I don't, that's awesome. Okay, so we're just standing, just getting a bit of movement in this morning with people who just came in. So just swinging my arms. I start with swinging my arms, and then I'm moving less now in my hips, and I'm just moving through the thoracic spine. So arms are loose. And you'll probably even notice some action here in the abductors by just keeping your legs nice and straight and swinging in our ribs, right? And so now I'm just going to do a little shake from side to side. So just doing a little wiggle. Bum is kind of going back a little. I'm just getting a little bit of mobility in the hips here. And then smaller movements. I'm going to bring my arms up and give them a shake. So shake, shake, shake. And then give the arms a shake. Perhaps you want to get a little bounce of, and then noticing your breath. Big breaths in, big breaths out. Relaxing in the belly, let the belly go. Do not be clenching, let the pelvic floor go. So if you're clenching there as well, let that loose. And let the belly loose. I'm just slowing down the movement a little bit. If you want any more movement, go ahead. Do what it is that you feel like you need right now, okay, before we get started. So I'm grounding my feet down to the floor. I'm getting about hip width distance apart with my feet, making sure my feet line up. I don't want one slightly in front of the other. So I'm just going to widen my toes. I like to imagine big elf feet. And so I like to just spread the toes wide. So we're in Tadasana now. And so again, I like to just put a bit of my weight, make sure I'm not hanging. I should be able to see my toes, so put your weight back into your heels. Let the belly go, breathe. You can let the arms down by their sides. And I just want you to think about grounding into the three corners of the feet. So it's like the heel and then the base of the pinky toe or the metatarsals there and one underneath the big toe. So it's like three corners of your foot. But when I say that, I don't want you to lean your weight forward, okay? So still weight in the back. Come to breathing. And now just visualize your foundation, your feet into the ground. But when I say press your feet into the ground, that does not mean to lock at the knees or cause a pushing down. It's just more of elongation up and feel like there's a bit of space between your joints. So a little bit of space between the ankle joints, a little bit of space between in the knee joint. So almost like there's a little puff of air there. And then again, imagining or imagine or put your mind into the feet and then going up the leg bones into the pelvis, nice and soft, soft belly, and the spine going up to the shoulder girdle, the arms resting down by your sides, and then your neck, so the bone, your spine, your cervical spine, tucking the chin a little, relaxing the face, a little smile on your lips. And then big breaths in and big breaths out. So just noticing how you feel. Does it feel a little awkward to stand like this? Does this feel like not natural to you? And what is it about standing this way that doesn't feel just right? And it's not to judge it, it's just to notice, oh, how do my hips feel like this? How does it feel to stand and let the belly loose? And let the pelvic floor loose. And release the jaw, any tension around the shoulders. We kind of want to stand in ease. So we want to be able to stand here with a sense of ease, without tension anywhere. Noticing your heartbeat. We're now opening our eyes, and we're just going to start by extending the palms out to the sides and raising the arms up. Take a big breath in and reach. Oh, and exhale. Come down. Do that again. And then you can just reach up to the ceiling and exhale down. Take a breath here. Now this time I want you to bring the arms up, but just think about the shoulder blades kind of staying put on the back of your back, so your shoulder blades are just flat. And then we're going to lift the arms, and imagine lifting the arms and the shoulder blades are still. So you're not going to get as high together, because a lot of us, not all of us, but once we bring our hands to a certain height, the scapula wants to move with it, which is fine. We're just trying to keep the scapula or the shoulder blades against our back and just moving the arms up, okay? So I'm just reaching, and then I'm gonna reach up towards the ceiling. Take a breath and come down. And we'll just do it one more time like that. So I'm just externally rotating my hands, and I'm gonna reach up nice and slow. I'm not trying to get past any boundary. And then when I reach that boundary where I'm kind of stuck there, I'm just going to reach out into my arms, take a breath, and come down. It's just getting a bit of mobility in the shoulders, okay? So now my palms are towards each other, and I'm just bringing the arms a little closer together. And the same thing, just kind of thinking of my shoulder blades staying where they are and the arm bone moving in the shoulder socket. So as you can see, I'm not up to here, I'm not moving my ribs, I'm not arching in my lower back, and just come back down. So come up, and you can come up again. Big inhale, and then exhale. Come down. And now a little closer together, shoulder width distance apart, palms are facing one another. And again, we're just bringing the arms up without the shoulder blades moving, okay? And then come down. So if you let your shoulder blades and your ribs and everything help you out, you can see how I can get my arms. If I wanted to, I could get them all the way back. But this is not the mobility I have in my arms or in my shoulders. So I want to really respect those and work within my boundaries. So I'm lifting my arms up, but they're going to stay here before everything else wants to help them get up. So I'm just respecting that, taking a lovely breath here, down, and we'll just do that one more time, up, Take a breath here. Notice if your belly starts to tense or if you start to hold anywhere else, because there's a bit of action, energy going on in our shoulders. It might make us, we tend to hold when we're doing anything that is a little bit of energy, who exert a bit of energy. We always, or a lot of us, tend to grip. So I want you to let go of that today, no gripping, okay? We're just going to go into the neck a little bit. So just a simple tucking the chin towards the chest just to elongate the neck. If I don't do that, I have a tendency for my neck to compress here. So just want to press the chin in towards, nice long neck here. And we're just going to do a simple tick-tock with the head. So right ear to right shoulder. Take a breath. No rush. Just going to the other side. Take a breath. Exhale, come up again to the other side. This time release the left arm. So right ear to right shoulder. Extend the left arm, palm facing up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. Exhale, come up, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And this time extending the right arm just out to your side, palm facing up towards the ceiling. Taking a breath. Exhale, come up. And I'm just going to get a little bit of movement in the wrist right now. So today's class, we're going to be getting into the shoulders. We're just warming up the shoulders right now, warming up the wrists. So what I'm doing with the wrists right now is I'm just moving the wrists side to side like this. I don't want to clench the fist really tight, just a loose. And I don't want the movement becoming more from my hands. I'm really focusing the movement in my wrist, okay? So we're just going side to side like that. Staying with the breath, releasing any tension in the shoulders, in the jaw, and in the belly. So now I'm just coming up and down, same thing. I want the movement to be coming from the wrist. So I'm just curling and bending down, curling up and bending down. And now I'm going right into some wrist circles. So again, I want the focus to be in the wrist. Don't clench your hands. And now go in the opposite direction. And now let's just shake that out. And you can shake as much as you want. I really love shaking, a little bounce. Big breaths in, big breaths out. Okay, so you can probably already feel a little bit of action in the shoulders by doing just that little amount of stuff. So this time we're going to take our arms into like a tabletop, like so. Palms facing up towards the ceiling. And now simply we're going to keep the elbows into our sides as we open the arms up and then close together and then open and then close. And so here, the shoulder blades should be flat on your back. So sometimes you might want to just roll the shoulders back and down, not gripping anywhere, but just getting the shoulder blades feeling nice and flat against your back. And as you do this, you're really trying to not move the shoulder blades as much, but really trying to move the arm bone in the shoulder socket, okay? Because we can if I could be pulling back and pulling the shoulder blades together, but we don't want to do that here. Shoulder blades nice and still on our back, and we're just opening the arms. Don't forget to breathe, and don't forget to let the belly loose, okay? We don't need to be gripping our belly here. So inhale, let the belly just relax out, even your pelvic floor. We often are holding up, like we're gripping our abs in, we're gripping the pelvic floor. Let that all go. Whew. So maybe just a couple more, maybe hold this time, just hold open. Try to relax everywhere. The energy just going in the arm bones, in the shoulder socket. And then we can release that. And give that a shake. And now it's time to get your block. If you have one, I showed at the beginning of the class, you could use nothing. This just gives a bit of biofeedback and keeps our arms in place, which is really good for this one. But even if you had a strap, you can kind of wrap it around your arms, wrap it around, cross it, hold it with your hands so that you can just get this kind of, and I don't know if I should show that. Message me if you want me to show you how to do it with the strap. I kind of went through it before everybody was here, but so holding the strap or holding your block and get back into your stance again. So just make sure that you have your pelvis is not going over your toes again. So put the pelvis in the back. And we're simply just going to be lifting. So again, the shoulder blades are flat in your back and you're just lifting the block up. And you'll notice that the shoulder blade or your arm bone, your humerus moving in the shoulder socket is what you're really focusing on here. You can hold up, take a breath, and come down. Take a breath. Exhale, come up. Inhale, come down. Take a breath. Exhale, moving up. So I'm kind of pressing pressing the block, but not super hard, just enough to hold the block there gently. I'm just holding the block up now. Exhale, come down. Take a breath, exhale up. Take a breath here. Exhale down. Take a breath. Exhale up. Take a breath. Exhale down. Take the block in your hand. And give your shoulders a little shake. Give your whole body a little shake. Take a breath in. Come back to your Tandasana, your standing pose. Take some more breaths, and we're going to take the block now. Again, same thing, in between the forearms, palms are facing up towards the ceiling. And again, we're just going to lift the block up just like we did. Shoulder blades are flat on your back, and you're lifting the arms up. And this time when you get to this tabletop position of this 90-degree, I want you to just do a little twist. So again, the pelvis stays where it is, and you're just twisting, keep the head where it is, and you're just twisting in the thoracic spine. So you're twisting in the ribs. The pelvis is not twisting. Staying nice and still. And you want to breathe. So I like to take a breath here in the middle. Breath in, exhale, twist, release the belly, the pelvic floor. I'm just holding. Inhale, exhale, release, come forward. Big inhale, exhale, twist the other way, hold and take a breath. Belly expands on the inhale, exhale, come forward, take a breath. You want to be moving with your own breath. So if I say take a breath and you're like, you feel like you're hyperventilating, move with your own breath, okay? So I like to take a breath. Exhale, twist. Let the breath out. Sometimes I'll take a breath here. And exhale back. And one more time to the other side. So I'm going to take an inhale. Shoulders might be getting tired. That's okay. Take an inhale. And exhale, twist. Take one last breath here. And exhale, come back. Take the block in your hand. And give your shoulders, give your whole body a shake again. And come back to the breath. Feel the belly expand on the inhale, the belly comes out. Exhale, the belly naturally comes in, but you want to really release all the tension in the belly today, okay? What do I have next? Okay, using the block again, doing the same thing. We're putting the block in the same place, and this time we're going to lift the block up like we did, and now you're just going to be straightening out, trying to straighten out the elbows with holding the block there. Woo! Notice what happens. Don't judge it, just notice. Are your shoulders moving up to your ears? Is it hard to keep the block grip there? Come down, my arms just move down, it's okay. I'm moving them down, and then I'm gonna move them up to a 90-degree angle again, and then I'm gonna try to release the arms out straight. Whoa. And then come back and come down. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach, my arms are down, and I'm just gonna reach out. So I'm just unbending my elbows is all I'm doing here. So I have the block down, take a breath, and then reaching the block forward. So I'm just trying to unbend the elbows here. And I'm trying to keep my shoulder blades where they are on my back. So do that a couple times, just bringing it in. And then straightening the arms out. Whew, you should be getting a lot of action in the shoulder blades. I'm gonna do it one more time. So I'm just doing it this way because we started, I brought my arms up, but I'm just gonna keep my arms down and just trying to straighten the arms out. Breath in. Oh. So if somebody was watching this and not doing it, you think, oh, that looks pretty simple, but oh, we're really getting into those tiny muscles and all the stabilizing muscles around our shoulders. So good. So just shake it out. I'm gonna put down my block now. Let the arms, I'm just gonna stand, let your arms fall down by your sides and just notice how that feels. So now I'm just gonna bring the arms nice and wide again, out to my sides, and I'm gonna bring them down. I'm gonna clasp the fingers together, and I'm gonna bring the arms down towards the floor. Shoulder blades are together on your back, okay? So, and just reaching down towards the floor is all I'm doing. Take a breath. Come back to your stance. Make sure you haven't started to let your front sway forward. And bring the hips over the heels. And now I'm just going to take these arms and I'm going to reach them a little bit from away from my bum. Just enough till I reach that little boundary. I'm respecting that, staying there and breathing. Exhale, release, give it a shake. Another big inhale and open the arms wide again. And then clasping, but with the other pinky on the bottom. Same thing, reaching the hands down towards the ceiling, down towards the floor. Did I say ceiling the first time too, I wonder? And just taking the hands now a little bit out from the bum and take a breath. And releasing, giving a shake. I'm bringing the feet a little, well, just hip width distance apart is fine. And we're just going to do a little side stretch. So I'm going to take my hands and put them on my hips for now. And I'm just bending over to the left, and just going to be really small first. So I'm just bending to the left and then bending to the right. Just getting the spine loosened up a little bit. So just be very gentle here. So I'm really focusing on the stretch between the bottom of my hip bone here and the bottom of my ribs, or so the hip bone to the ribs. Just really trying to get that. If you feel like putting your arm up and stretching, please go ahead and do that. Take a breath and like I'm stretching my arm out now, but my weight wants to come over to the right. So I'm really pushing down into the left foot. And like I said, it's not about how far you can get the arm, or it's just this stretch here between the ribs and the hip here, and come down. And again, we'll just do the little tick-tock to side again. It's loosening everything up. And then I'm going to come over now to the right. And it's just like we're in two panes of glass. So I'm not moving forward or back, just trying to come to the side. You can bring the arm up if you want. Take some breaths here. I'm going to take one more breath. And exhale. Whew. Come down and give it a little shake. We're just going to do a little forward fold here. But I want you to take your block if you have one. If not, we can work without it, okay? We're going to do a little forward fold, but I want you to take a block and put it between your legs. And if you don't have a block, just imagine something being there, honestly, because you can. And it's almost like you're going to squeeze the block and you're going to feel your adductors, so your inner thigh muscles, right? Clenching the block. But I don't want you to clench and hold and like be really clenching. It's just like a slight hold with the block. Just enough where you feel like your adductors just kind of turn down, and even your abductors on the outside. So if you're not using a block, you can kind of get that same feeling with like my feet are down. I don't want the movement to come into the knees, but it's just this, almost like you're going to take your feet that are planted down and just open them. So a little bit of external rotation, but I don't want the rotation to be coming into the knees, okay? Not that your knees can rotate that much, but I think you'll know if you start to feel it in your knees, you'll know what I mean. Gentle forward fold. So when we're forward folding, we want the top of our bodies to stay exactly where they are, okay? So the hinging comes from, and you can start, it comes from the pelvis moving onto the leg bone. So that's where you want to be. So I'm just going to come down until, oh, I feel here now the hamstrings are getting a good stretch here. And this is where I want to stay. Don't lock out your knees. And now I want you to be just gentle here. I want you to just release the belly, release the breath, just a really nice forward fold or half forward fold here. If you really need to give your knees a little bend, please do. I'm just staying here. And then come up. See how that feels. And again, we're just going to come down again. So gentle squeeze into the block. Just enough for your, because this is what's supporting, these muscles around here are supporting the pelvis, right? Supporting this whole movement of rotating the pelvis now onto the knees, or, my gosh, onto the leg bones in the hips, right? And we're just folding over. Weight still back in the shoulders. Don't fold, don't come over. Don't let your weight come forward. I'm still kind of squeezing that block. Neck is nice and long. Feeling now a nice stretch in the hamstrings. So you want the back of the body to just release. So all the adductors doing the work to hold you here. And then you're trying to relax the back body and allow it to release. So the backs of the legs, almost inviting a little relaxation there. And now to come up, I'm just going to, I like to bend my knees a little bit and let's just straighten out. And take the block away. Notice how you feel now. Give it a little shake. And now we're going to come right into a warrior two. So I'm going to start warrior two with the legs wide open. Not too wide, not as wide as you can go. Just maybe even a little shorter than what I would call like wide leg. Let your feet go wherever they want to go. And now what we're going to do is we're coming into that warrior two. So I want to, the whole thing about warrior two and getting your leg out is to externally rotate the leg in the socket, okay? So I'm just kind of up on my heel and I'm gonna just move and imagine this leg externally rotating in the hip socket. And so I'm just gonna put my foot straight. And now I'm just gonna step this one back maybe a little bit to wherever is comfortable. Wherever your foot goes when you do that, that's where maybe it should be, okay? Mine is just parallel. The stance I like is kind of heel to arch, but it's gonna be different for all of us depending on our hips and stuff, okay? So this is not like I'm not down really, really low, you notice. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing the leg out. So it's not even like I'm pushing the leg. If you had your hand here, you're pushing against that hand. But also you really need to imagine that there's this external rotation going on. So I don't want, some people will say, oh, the knee over the middle toe. That's not going to be for everybody. It could be if we turned our whole pelvis, okay? But the idea is our pelvis is staying relatively, so come out of that. The pelvis is staying, your hip bones are kind of staying straight. And that rotation is supposed to come from the rotation of the leg in the hip socket, okay? So I'm turning the leg in the hip socket. Now, if you feel like, you might have to shorten your stance, is all I'm saying. So if you're like not getting that movement, you need to just shorten your stance and then open the leg in the leg socket there, okay? So and that's where you wanna start. And if you are this close together, that's fine. What we really wanna be doing is getting that leg moving in the socket, okay? In all ranges of motion. So all I'm doing right now is I'm feeling that external rotation and then coming down into warrior two. Now, I even notice that my hips, your pelvis might move a little bit, but sometimes people will do it like this, or like their pelvis completely moves around, so they're like this, and that's not what it's about, okay? A lot of talking, sorry, but I'm just very passionate about why it is that we do these poses. I do not want to do warrior two because it just looks nice, okay? I want it to be safe in your body and I want you to really be getting something out of it. So a lot of action going around here in the hips now. So we're in a warrior two, the arms can be out or down by the sides. And once you get this, I'm just going to straighten the leg and then come down again. Yes, you're pushing the leg. If you have your hand here, push that leg into your hand. So you're trying to open up and then straighten and then come down again. Taking breaths and straighten. And now coming down into that warrior two again. And this time I'm going to bring the arm just like we did the last time where you're trying to get that stretch here. And this arm, sometimes people just like to have it down. And I'm just stretching to the side and coming up into warrior two. Coming down again, just getting that nice stretch in the side. And coming up. One more time, coming down. And this time when you come up, straighten out that leg. Now come down, bend that knee, bringing the arm up perhaps, or you might just want to be here, or you might just want to continue this up and down, okay? Just choose what you're in the mood to do today. Come up. And up. And one more. Big reach. And come up. Oh, let's internally, externally rotate our arms. So just thinking about the shoulders, moving in the shoulder sockets. Oh, and now straighten that leg, and we still need to go to the other side. So from here, I'm just going to rotate, but thinking of the rotate as I'm rotating on my heel, but I'm really thinking about the leg rotating, okay? So I'm rotating the leg, I'm not moving anywhere, just rotating that leg. So my foot is pointing forward, and you may feel like, oh, I'm a bit stuck there, and you probably are stuck there. So don't try to fight past that, okay? So I'm opening up, and then, and like I said, if you're getting somewhere and you're like, oh, my leg is not gonna move, my whole pelvis is gonna move, shorten your stance a little bit. So, and another thing that tends to happen, because it just did with me, is that your pelvis will go down. So it's like you're like that. So you want the pelvis to stay equal here and the movement coming from the leg, okay? So I feel a real external rotation, putting my hand here, I'm pushing against the hand, but not to compensate here, okay, in my hips. So your back leg is wherever it feels comfortable here. And we're in this warrior two. You can bring the arms out to the sides. Take a breath here first. And now we're just going to lift the leg, the knee, unbend the knee and come down. Really thinking about the pelvis. It's so nice to have a mirror or something when you're doing this. Some hands on the bones here, coming down and coming up. Take a breath. Don't be clenching the belly. Don't be clenching anywhere, because when we want to do that, things get hard. We're like, oh. And if you do that, you're going to have less energy for the actual place where you want the work to go, okay? So we're coming up. Now we're bending down again. And this time you can get that nice side stretch if you want. And come down to warrior two. If it's too much, you can always come up, take a break, okay? You don't need to stay down if you don't want to. If it doesn't feel good for you. So, side stretch. Take a breath. And exhale, come up. Another one. Still the leg is bent. And come up. And now this time, we're going to come up. The knee is still bent. And then as we come down, we're unbending the leg. Okay, so bending the knee, getting this nice side stretch, and coming up. And coming down. Or I think, was I doing it the other way? No. And coming up. Nice side stretch again. I feel like I was doing it the other way before. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like I was doing this, right? So, whoops. So you can do it either way, actually. Don't worry. And then come up. Legs are nice and wide. Let's pivot heels, toes, heels, toes. Oh my gosh, I've not even gotten part way through what I had planned. Okay, let's give that a little shake. And come on down to hands and knees. Okay, have a blanket for underneath your knees if you need it. And come on to hands and knees, hands underneath the shoulders, shoulder width distance apart, knees underneath the hips, hip width distance apart. Oh, so on our hands and knees, just giving ourselves a little wiggle, shake from side to side. I'm just doing a couple of rhomboid push-ups, but kind of really exaggerated, letting my shoulder blades come together and really pushing them apart. Come together, push them apart. So the shoulder blades are coming together, shoulder blades apart, shoulder blade. And see how I'm like relaxing my back here? We don't want to be doing that. We want to not collapse in our low backs. We want the ribs to stay flat. You're probably so tired of me saying that, but I even had to remind myself just then. So it's a good reminder. Shoulder blades together, and shoulder blades apart. Shoulder blades together, and shoulder blades apart. Moving with your own breath. I like to exhale as I push up, come down, inhale. Exhale, push apart. Now what we're going to do is I'm putting all my weight into my left arm here, and I'm going to take my right arm and go under, and then drop down onto my shoulder if it's available to you, okay? And then what I'm doing is I kind of want my top shoulder or my top shoulder blade to be stacked over my right. So I'm just using my hand. I'm not forcing anything, just using it to stabilize myself there. And then I'm pushing because my hips might want to come with me, and I'm just pushing the hips back to neutral. You're not forcing anything, okay? And this may not be good for your lower back, or go into child's pose if this is not good for you, okay? It's not feeling good. Just taking a breath, and now I'm going to push in this top hand and come back. And then I'll go the other way. So now, just taking my arm down, and I'm going to slide it under. I'm going to bring my whole head down to the floor. This may not be available to everybody, guys. And so I'm just trying to stack one shoulder over the other. I'm not forcing anything. This hand is just, I've just got my fingertips down. I'm not pushing. I'm taking a breath. Maybe taking another, depends on how comfortable you are here. And exhale, and I'm going to push myself back up onto hands and knees. So now we're just going to take our hands kind of nice and wide onto the mat, and kind of like child's pose, but not exactly. I'm just going to bring my whole body back. I got my toes tucked. And now I'm just going to come up onto those fingertips, okay? I'm keeping the neck nice and long, and I'm just coming up on the fingertips. Taking a breath. And the head may come down. You may even want to widen your legs to be a bit more space for your belly. And now I'm just coming down off my fingertips, bringing my hands to my side, just having a breath here. And coming back up. We're going to this class. I've had so much planned, the time. So we're going to come down onto our backs now. And I'm just going to try to figure out what I'm going to do with all this stuff. So I think I'm just going to stay in the shoulders. So we're not going to need the socks like I mentioned before, not enough time. We're going to lay on our backs. We're going to have our block ready. And you may want something underneath your head, a pillow or a blanket. I'm going to see what's good for me here. I'm going to come down with my block. Whew. This is okay. This is better. Okay, hopefully you can see me here. So just like we did before at the beginning of the class with the block between our arms, or yeah, if you don't have the block, you're gonna just have the arms. It's just gonna take a little bit more focus, okay? So the arms are in a 90-degree angle. My palms are facing down towards the ceiling. And I'm up in this tabletop 90-degree, couple 90-degree angles here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to try to bring the arms without bending them behind. So you're just doing this simple movement back and forth. So I'm going to bring the arms down. And then I'm going to bring them, and I'm just thinking about my shoulders rotating in the shoulder, or my arms rotating in the shoulder sockets here. So again, just very simple. Whew, simple, but might look simple on the outside, but there's definitely a lot going on the inside. Okay. Oh. So bringing them back, holding, taking a breath, come down, and then come over again. I have to look because I know that my arms are trying to straighten out. I just want to keep that bend in the elbows and come down. So today's class is more about the shoulders, I guess, but no, we did a lot of hip stuff with the warrior two. And then come down, drop your block, and let your arms come out to the side and take a rest. Take a breath. I gotta see what I have planned here and what things to do and what things to not do. Okay. Whew. Okay, same thing. Putting the arms back here. So 90-degree angle, palms are facing down towards the floor, okay? So the arms are up now, and just like we did standing, I just want you to try to straighten the elbows. Oh, and come down. This is so much work on the arms and on the shoulders. So trying to straighten the arms out. Come down. Take a breath, exhale. Trying to straighten out the arms again. Come down. Take a breath. Exhale. Trying to straighten the elbows. Oh, and come down. And we're going to try to do one more here. And then come down. Oh, block. Relax and let the arms come out by your sides. Take a breath. And I think we're just going to do one more last thing. So let's put our arms in cactus here. So our arms are still down by our sides, but they're in cactus. Palms are facing up towards the ceiling. And so 90-degree angle, so just check your two arms. And you can do one arm at a time or both. We'll do one at a time first. So I'm just kind of straightening. I'm trying to straighten the arm without the elbow coming off the floor, okay? So I'm gonna just do one arm first. So arm in cactus, I'm trying to reach my arm up straight without the elbow coming off the floor, okay? So I have to move my pillow this way. Ribs are down onto the floor. Shoulder blades are down flat on the floor. Ribs on the floor, a little arch in the lower back. And I think I'm gonna reach the other arm now. So you're probably gonna notice a huge difference. I have a really wonky shoulder on the left, so this is super hard, but super great for this shoulder. So again, we're just reaching, keeping the elbow on the floor. Do one at a time. Take a breath. Release the rest of your body because you're probably going to start to tense your legs, your belly, your jaw. Things get a little bit tough. That's what we do, but I really want you to make conscious effort not to do that. Reaching one arm and come down. Reaching the other. And this is really nice standing against the wall as well. Really, really good. Probably even a little easier in the sense of, I don't know, the arm not, I don't know. I find it kind of a little bit hard to focus on the floor more than on the wall. But the shoulder blade is staying down onto the mat. Just moving one arm up. And this feels really, my left shoulder is so tight, I can hardly get it. I definitely can't get it straight, okay? So don't think that you're necessarily gonna get your arms straight. This one I can get somewhat straight, but the left is like kind of half that. And it's just various reasons, rolled in shoulders, wing shoulder blades, just like a stuck scapula. Nothing wrong. Oh, and I think I'm just gonna relax that now. Oh, so just notice how your shoulders feel. Just let your arms come down by the sides, palms facing up. I know I talked a lot through that class. I really feel it myself, but yeah, you know how I am. I like being very kind of specific with our movements. And so just taking a rest here, letting your shoulders relax, your legs. I like having my knees bent. It's a really great release for your psoas if you could lay here with the legs bent for 10 or 15 minutes a day. I like kind of having the block there on my belly so that I can really notice the belly rising. The inhale, and releasing back with the exhale. And reminding, bring the breath right up to the ribs, feel the ribs expand 360. The ribs actually move out to the sides. So a little bit of movement out to the sides and to the front and the back, 360. Just imagine big breath in, that your ribs expanding, giving room for the lungs to expand. And now get ready for Shavasana. So get all cozy. We'll be here for just, we'll be here for about 7 minutes. So get all cozy, or any last movement before you get cozy. So if you feel like you need to put the legs up in the air, or do a little rock on your sacrum, or whatever it is that you feel you need before you get rested, please go ahead and do that. And then you can get ready for your Shavasana. Right now I'm going to sit up. So get all cozy on your back, perhaps something under your head. Perhaps you keep your legs bent to just get that nice psoas release there. Or you can have your legs rested with something underneath your knees. Whatever it is that you need to get comfortable. So resting your whole back body into the earth. And letting go of any tension anywhere. Starting with that space between the eyes, the forehead, and even feel like a release in your scalp. So it's like the skin comes back on your face. A gentle smile. Feeling the neck long, so if your chin is kind of pointed up towards the ceiling where you feel like this compression in the back neck, you need to put something underneath your head so that you can have a nice long neck. No compression in the back of the neck, okay? So the face relax, the scalp, space between your eyes, your cheeks, a little space between the teeth, your back teeth. And remove the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Imagine the ears relaxing, moving down into the jaw, the muscles of our neck, our traps, moving down into the shoulders. Our palms can be facing up towards the ceiling to open up the chest. Taking breaths in, breaths out. Feeling an openness in the chest. Relaxing of the back body into the floor. Breathing in, noticing our gentle breaths, let the belly relax, let the pelvic floor relax. Allow our shoulders to be heavy. Give thanks to your shoulders for all that great work we just did. And invite that relaxed, easy feeling to move down your arms to your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands. Let that soft energy release out with the fingers. Get a sense of your whole back body touching the floor. And let it be heavier in each exhale. So you're just sinking into the earth and becoming one with the earth. And your back body is heavy. Your belly is relaxed and light. Moving down to your pelvis, allowing your pelvis to be relaxed. The leg bones relaxed in the hip sockets. Inviting that relaxed energy or that calm to move down your legs into your knees, the calves, the shins, all relaxing, letting go into the ankles, and the heels, the arch of the foot, the padding or metatarsals of the feet, and the toes. And that soft energy just releasing out of the toes. The body heavy into earth, but a sense of lightness. And just relaxed. Gentle smile on the face. Enjoying this peace. This little time to yourself. Perhaps giving your mind a little clarity. Setting an intention for your day, for it to be content or relaxed or fun, whatever it is you have planned. Set an intention to be more in the moment today, more in the now. And ending with a little bit of gratefulness for something in your life. It could be the smallest thing. And I'll leave you here for as long as you need to stay here. Namaste. God bless. I hope you have a beautiful day. And thank you so much for joining me this morning.